We're going to take a plastic pink flamingo from the Dollar Tree and a galvanized metal pot from the Dollar Tree. And what I want to do is try to make this look like a shaped topiary. Like, you know, when you go to like theme parks and stuff like that, and they have like animal shapes greenery, I thought we could do that for the pink flamingo. Now, you know I love my hot glue, but this is going to be outside, so I'm going to use some Gorilla Glue Clear Grip. It definitely took longer to dry than what I like or what I'm used to, but it really started to set up a little bit after about 30 minutes, so it wasn't too bad. I'm basically going to cover the entire pink flamingo with the glue and some of the Dollar Tree reindeer moss. So this was a partial package. It was mostly full though. So we can start keeping track of how many bags, because I always forget to count. I always have to count along with you guys on the videos when you guys want to know how much I used. Now, I thought about painting it green first so that you wouldn't be able to see any of the pink through, but I thought it would glue better to it without the paint getting in the way. So I didn't, and then whenever I saw any pink, I would just have to go back and add a little bit more moss. And it was a little bit more difficult than I'm used to, but I guess it is a little bit easier because I didn't have to worry about burning myself. So this is package number 2 of our moss, I believe. And this one's got like some brighter greens. You'll notice a variation with the color of your reindeer moss, but that's okay. You can always kind of just mix it up. And I actually like the look when the moss has different colors. It really gives it more character. And I'm going to cover the front and the back of this guy. So I thought this would be a fun take on it. It definitely turned out way classier than the plastic pink flamingo looks for something. I'm going to use mine outdoors on my porch. I think it'll be fine there, but that's one reason why I'm using the Gorilla Glue Clear Grip. It is 100% waterproof, and AI said that it was definitely the strongest glue I could use for this application. It said hot glue would work, but this would work better. So this is package number 3, I believe, on the moss. And I had done the bottom, and now I'm doing the very top edge here. And you can always go back and trim it up later if the shape is a little crazy. It needs a little haircut here in the end. But I wanted to get everything glued on first to him. And I was actually surprised how much of the Gorilla Glue Clear Grip that I used for this project. I would say I'd probably use 2/3 of the tube. So it took quite a bit to cover the entire pink flamingo. This is package number 4, if you're still counting. And we're going to try to cover the entire thing. I want to make sure that you can't see any of the pink whatsoever. And so that is my goal with this. But at the same time, I'm trying to get it glued on there first and foremost. And then I can go back and kind of squeeze, move things around, add little patches if I see any pink coming out. And then this is package number 5. I don't think I used all of package number 5. So that's about how much I used for this little, I guess it's not a pink flamingo, it's a green flamingo at this point, right? So I'm using this package just to patch any areas where I could see a little bit of the pink coming through. And again, that this glue doesn't dry immediately, so it makes it a little bit more challenging. I thought I'd better go ahead and reattach the flamingo legs there before my glue starts to set up so I can find where the holes are punched on this. And I reattach those. I'm not a big fan of these metal legs that come with the pink flamingo. They're not super stable. Sometimes I've replaced them with wood, but this is going to go outside, so I thought the metal might hold up better. I wish they were a little bit taller, but we're going to make it work. So what I did is I set our little Mossy Flamingo aside. I put it near my air conditioner in the garage where I craft, so that will help it set up a little bit. And in the meantime, we can decoupage this little flower pot from the Dollar Tree. This is a pink flamingo napkin that I got at the Dollar Tree. It's a 2-layer napkin, so I just go ahead and remove one of the layers so I can decoupage. And then I'm going to cut it in half. And I think I'm going to be able to make it waterproof by using some of the outdoor Mod Podge so that this will hold up well outside. I'm just going to tear it into strips. The reason I tear it into strips like that is because the flower pot is wider at the top than it is at the bottom. So I'm going to have to overlap to keep everything straight. vertically. So I use a very thin coat of the Mod Podge on there and making sure my hands are really dry before I smooth that out on there. And I'm just going to use the straight edge at the top, and I don't mind that it's too long at the bottom. I can always trim that off later. I overlap them slightly, just a little bit. It's okay that the pattern doesn't repeat. It's kind of a wild pink flamingo pattern anyway. And they have several different options of pink flamingo Dollar Tree napkins. I think any of them would be really cute. This one's more of a neutral pink color. It's not bright at all, more muted, I would guess. And I just keep working my way around the flower pot. The reason that I'm ripping is because when you rip in decoupage, it seems to blend better than cutting it. So keep that in mind. And I think one more strip is going to be enough to cover this entire thing. And you have to be really careful. Those napkins are so thin, it's so easy to tear them. I went in and gave it a quick dry, and now I can cut off the excess napkin here at the bottom. I just do like a rough cut around the bottom and then go back in with my sanding sponge, and that will cut the paper off in a perfect circle there at the bottom and get rid of any of that without causing any damage to the flower pot. Then I gave it a quick dry, and I'm going to go over it again with a thin coat of that outdoor Mod Podge. I'm also going to seal it. It did recommend that on the outdoor Mod Podge to seal it too. So I thought I might as well try to take every precaution. I'm just going to use the Rust-Oleum matte finish sealer and go over it with a coat of that. I'm also going to be sealing the moss, which is something that I didn't know that you really could do, but ChatGPT told me that I should seal it. They said it would make it more durable outside. And so I'm not going to do a lot. I'm only going to do one coat on each side because I don't want it to be really crunchy. But I do want it to be as durable as I can make it, since it is going to be outside in the Florida heat and weather. Now that the glue has started to set up on this and I've got it sealed, I am going to go in and patch any remaining areas with that last remaining bag of reindeer moss that I had. And I'm just using hot glue for that. I figure I can use hot glue at least for that part. For the flower pot, I want to weigh it down because it's going to be outside. So I did a whole bag of the Dollar Tree rocks there in the bottom. And then I wanted something that I could put the flamingo legs in. So I'm using one of the little foam circles from the Dollar Tree. It's a little small for the size flower pot, but we can make it work. I just hot glued it down onto the rocks and then covered it in some of the brown floral moss just for a different look of the moss. You could also use some potting soil for that if you wanted to. And then I'm going to stand my little Mossy Flamingo right inside. Now, once I got this all put together, I didn't think it was as colorful as I wanted. So I am going to add some pink flowers to it as well to really make it pop. But this is the best time to give your little flamingo a haircut if you need to. When he is standing up on his own, it just makes him easier to get to. This is what he looks like so far. Just a little bit muted. I wanted a little pop of color. So I'm going to go in here with some of these pink hydrangeas from the Dollar Tree. And I'm not going to need both bunches, but I think I used one and then part of another one. I'm just going to cut those and put those down into the floral foam and fill up the little flower pot with some pink flowers. If we don't have the pink from the pink flamingo, since we covered the entire thing with moss to make him look like a little topiary, we can at least have that pop of pink here in the flower pot. And I'm glad that I did that because the pink flamingo design on the flower pot's not super bright. And I think that really made it pop. I can't really show you there what he looks like, but let me show you here. Our flamingo topiary, really fun. Using moss was a great way to do this, and it was so much fun to put this together.